about what you put in there and why.
Well, first off, it's not my design. Where's Jesse at? He had a hand in this too. But what we did was looked at the area that was sheet mulch, and we originally came up with a totally radical thing. But when the Jack put up what we have on hand and what's expected to arrive shortly on the board, went back and just started picking things out of that. And the first thing we did was decide what type of fruit trees do we want into it. So we've got a pawpaw, there's an Alberta peach, a Schumer apple, and a plum in the back. There's only 4 trees in this whole design. And then we just started putting the support species in. Everywhere we see a fruit tree, there's comfrey on at least one side. In some instances, we're doubling up on it back in here. But we picked the elderberries. There's some horseradish root to get down into the ground. All of these we're using for ground covers. And we just started, the existing trees that are out there, we've got
What are those existing oaks?
The existing oaks are the ones that are kind of shaded in up here. What is that tree there, Jack? Just on the outside of it?
Some kind of fruit tree.
Oh, that one? Nobody knows what that tree is.
All right. Well, it's a tree. But the existing oaks are these 3 items here. So on the front of one of the oaks, we put a muscadine on it to vine up that side. On the back side of it, where it's going to be just a little bit cooler because of the shade, we're going to put a ground nut in for to have cool roots, but train it to come around and grow up alongside the muscadine. The other 2 trees, we put a male and a female kiwi on each side of those to let them come up and, again, train them to come around to the sun side of it. And that's it, man. It was like you said this morning, you can put a lot of thought into it, or you can just start putting stuff down and see what works, and that's basically what we did.
This is a really good design because it incorporates looking at what's here. And there wasn't a need to cram 20 trees into it because we just planted 60 trees on 3/4 of an acre anyway. But we had some extra trees you plugged in. But these existing oaks, this diagram, and again, you don't all have to be Nick Ferguson with your diagrams. It doesn't really do this design justice, though, when you just look at it here. When you go out there and look at it, it makes a lot of sense because these 2 trees lean, and when those trees leaf back out, because I know everybody else where you live, your trees drop their leaves in like November. These trees drop their leaves now. This is as thin as these trees get. When these leaf back out, there's a lot of shade here from these 3 trees. So you put a mushroom clump in there. Well, when you don't take those kiwis, that female's going to climb this way and that male's going to climb this way, and they're going to put more shade on this area. So that's a great design. It incorporates a lot of what we had. Talking about putting a groundnut, we'd probably put 4 or 5 groundnut tubers around there because they're little bitty tubers.
Jack?
But I wouldn't change very much about this at all.
No, what you had just said was what I was just going to ask. Is on the map they're showing the female kiwi getting more morning sun and the male kiwi at 37. And I was wondering why it wasn't the other way. And you just mentioned female on this one and male. That's the opposite of what's labeled.
What?
Why is the female on
the
east side? Why is the male on the west side?
This the female label and this the male. Wouldn't you want the female?
Oh, I know. I'll tell you why we put it that way. Because I haven't been through a PDC course and didn't know any better.
It doesn't matter. They put the female on the bigger tree is what they did.
Okay, well that's why I was.
So
what I
the
was
female
asking.
has more structure, and what's going to happen? Maybe you did it by accident. I thought you knew why you did it. This tree's bigger,
Thanks, Jesse.
so it supports a hell of a lot more.
That's what I was
So the
asking.
female vine can get bigger. That tree leans west. That kiwi vine's going to go. That kiwi vine will eat that tree, and it's going to climb right over that tree and into the male. Where the male's going to sit there and go, I got all the sun I need, I don't really need to go anywhere. So you basically got the female being trained into the male plant and creating a cover. I thought you knew you did that.
No, I didn't.
But you did a good damn job. Just say you did.
That's why I was asking why,
Yeah.
because I figured there was a reason, but I didn't understand what
It wouldn't really matter. It just works out really good that way.
And because of we got some dappled shade in the back, we grow some herbs and vegetables back in that area there.
So we can either plant most of this, or we can just mix up some mushroom spawn and throw it in that hole. Or we can do nothing. It's up to y'all.
Let's do something.
Who wants to do the mushrooms at least?